Hi, I'm Kyle Jorgenson with Revolution Machine Tool. This machine behind me is a B-Smart 12-250, so 250 US tons or long tons. This machine is 12 foot of bending capacity, and we've got just a little over 10 feet between our frames. So full pass-through is like 10'4", 10'6", I believe, between our frames. And 12 foot of bending length. Now, our B-Smart series machines have the same hydraulics, same cylinders, same system as our B-Genius. It's just this machine doesn't have as many options standard. It's still a very nice machine and it's very capable. It's just there's not as many things that are standard. I'm going to go through all the stuff that is standard, and there's only really one option on this machine. I'll go over that in a second. Standard with our Smart series of press brakes is the DA53T. It's a nice little control. I've got other videos that go into the control, so I'm not going to get into that today. But it's a graphical control. You can program it graphically, NC mode, and you also got a manual screen. If you just walk up, want to bend one part or multiple parts, you can quickly do what you need to do. Our Smart series comes standard with our height adjustable arm or swing arm. It's equipped too, like somebody makes a mistake and hooks the control. Get out of the way. We've got two standard front support arms. You lock into position. We call them our linear sliding front support arms. I've also got, in my front support arms, I've got inch and metric scale. I've got a flip stop, so if I want a front gauge, a tapered part, or something like that. Now, optionally, we can build you longer front support arms, more support arms. You know, a lot of things depend on what you need. But standard, in this size machine, 2 front support arms. This machine, all of our press brakes come standard with ACUS punch tip laser. So this is going to shine a laser right down our punch tip and monitor what's going on. So I'll show you in a second with that block of wood, if somebody makes a mistake, what it does or how it protects the operator. Now, again, this is a press brake. I mean, you're developing a lot of tonnage and pinch points, and it's I mean, historically, these are dangerous machines. That's why we put our ACUS system or ACUS system on our press brake standard. OSHA doesn't require it, but it's coming. In some states they are. Now this machine's got a deep throat to allow you to bend 12-foot parts. I believe it's 16 inches off the top of my head on a 12-250, 16 and a half. It's got our B-Smart series is going to come with a standard crowning system. Now this crowning system is built into the deck of the machine. It doesn't take away from our open height, but we can optionally add a CNC motor here and tie it into the control, and with the hysteresis of the machine, set it automatically. But again, this is standard on the machine. A B-Smart, you would have manual crowning, and it has just a row counter or counter to tell you where you're at, and our install team or our application team will teach the operator or you how to use this in conjunction with the control, like how many thousandths will affect my angle and how to adjust this. Also, I forgot to tell you, but our ACUS is built so that, if you're going to slide a tool in there or somebody makes a mistake and hooks it, it's built to slide out of the way. It's also very easy to adjust. Now you can see I've got a back gauge here standard on the machine, so CNC X-axis is standard, servo driven X-axis, and I've got 2 fingers, and these fingers have multiple steps depending on what I'm doing. And also I grab this rod that comes with the machine, so you don't have to reach through the machine to adjust your fingers. I'm able to move them up to what I'm doing. So quickly set up. I mean, to the type of part or width that I'm doing. I've also got section clamps on this machine. Now, we can optionally put a hydraulic clamp, you know, a new standard or American clamp on here if that's, you know, your production requires it, where you're going to change your tooling a lot. It's a very good option to have. But for a lot of people, these are fine. I mean, they've got a system in them, a quick clamp. You get them set right, you can adjust them and pull your tooling. Now, another thing about these section clamps is they act like, a lot of people call them box clamps. Because if I drop a few of these out and build my tooling stack, I can do a box from here to the end of my tool, so it extends the height of my tool. Box clamps. Now these box clamps have crowning in them also, so individual localized crowning. So we have bed crowning and then localized crowning in this system, or TY they call it, or TX. So standard on this machine, again, is section clamps. You get a nice precision little gooseneck, a 4-way die. So the 4-way die has openings up to 1/4 inch, so up to 1/4 inch mild steel with this die setup. Now this machine's 250 ton. We can easily bend 12 foot 1/4 inch mild steel with this current die setup. And a lot of other things. Also, we have standard our die block. We call it our universal die block because I can pull my 4-way out and it's got a slot in it to run single V dies, acute angles or whatever I'm doing. So a lot of capability. I mean, there's other systems. We can put a big 4-way on here, other types of die blocks. But again, this is our standard system that's included with the machine. So if we coach you just a machine, this is what it's going to be. Section clamps, a standard gooseneck, precision ground, a 4-way that's precision ground and segmented, and a nice universal die block. Again, crowning in the bed, linear support arms. And, you know, why do you need all this? Well, I would never buy a press brake, especially anything over, say, 4 feet, without crowning. You couldn't get me to do it. It saves so much time, you know, scrap of parts. Just, you know, the voodoo knowledge, you know, historically with press brakes, it really helps with crowning. You need tooling. I mean, you might have, or a lot of people have tooling already, but a nice set of tooling to come with the machine. I mean, section clamps and stuff like that. You need an ACUS laser. You need a safety system. We made the 53T our standard control because, you know, just the capability to be able to draw parts and get your stretch out and quickly go and produce what you need. Also, you notice this machine's got a lot of height. It's standard. I mean, this is our standard machine. We can build them with more open height, also with more stroke. But this is our standard machine. We have, you know, like 20 and 20.9 inches of open height from our deck to here. I mean, we got a lot of open height, a lot of stroke. I'm going to run this real quick. I'll be back. Got my door open. It doesn't like that. So I've got approach, bend. So my open height I can quickly program, which I'm going to change that in a second. So I got approach speed, which I can program also. I've got my mute point, I can set a dwell or a double stop easily. And then I've got a bend, and my bending speed I can set very easily also. Now bending speed's nice because depending on the type of material, you might need to slow the speed down. Also, if you got a panel or something, you know, you need to change your bending speed to what you're doing. So again, I've got a lot of open height, fast approach, bending. I'm bending a part, I don't need that much open height. So I just run. See, I don't need the open height. Now I'm going to take it back up to where it was. I want to show you the Acus laser. So, I mean, this is a little thick in somebody's hand, but let's say somebody's not paying attention, they put their hand in the machine, they're bending apart. This is, you know, something's wrong. It stops the machine. That's the purpose of the Acus laser. So I just changed the material thickness and the width. Say I want to bend 90 degrees. Actually, I'm going to move my back gauge in. Now, did you notice the R axis come up on this machine? Because it knew it was going to come over the top of the die. The R axis is the only option on this machine right now, the way this one's configured. Actually, I did that on purpose, but I want to show you. If I go back to 1.5, this is not actually flange length, it's actual back gauge position. But yeah, we had our mute a little high, I can change that. But I mean, just simple. I just walked up, grabbed piece quarter, you know, check my angle, it might be off quarter, half degree. I can quickly change it and adapt to what I'm doing. It's, I mean, simple. I've got, let me show you variable bending speed. So I'm going to slow my bending speed down. Take my bending speed where it's actually moving and you won't even be able to see the ram moving. It'll you know, you can go really slow if you need to. Also can program a decompression, so I don't, it's like, you know, sometimes bending material, a lot of times bending material, especially, you know, some of the hard oxes and spring steel stuff. When I let off the ram, I mean, you're letting a lot of force out of the machine. So we can program a decompression or a big panel. So I not only can I slow my bending speed down, I can also slow my upstroke out of my die. It's decompression. So the capability and the versatility of the machine, you know, is there. Plus the safety of it. You don't want a big panel swinging out when you don't want to, or, I mean, you preaching the choir. But yeah, a lot of capability. Back gauge. I mean, again, I've changed this already in the video, but if I go to, say, 12 inches, I just, that quick, go. You know, and again, this has R axis, which is the only option. The way this machine, you see it. Travel, we got really deep travel. So if you got a deep part you're gauging. Again, I can also gauge the front of my fingers. I can gauge, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different settings there I can offset, and the control knows that, depending on what you toggle to. So if I need to gauge a, you know, say a big stair pan or something where I got parts teetering on me, and I can go back and sit on my finger, it'll automatically adjust the height of what I'm doing. If I, you know, I gotta just let the machine know that. But I think about some back light curtain. You know, you don't want somebody getting in the back gauge going back and forth, servo motor. So a back light curtain, safety curtain is standard on this machine. Yeah, front light, dual foot pedal. Actually, your foot pedal, we can adjust it, but it's got a panic function in it. So if I come and I'm bending apart, you know, dangerous thing about a press brake, let's say I got a channel or something, and you got a new operator and he's not paying attention, he's got his fingers on it and they're coming towards the ram. I mean, again, we got warnings all over, but let's say he makes a mistake. You know, he's coming down, he makes a mistake, he goes towards it. See? I've got a panic function. It's a hard thing because you're going to go towards what's getting you. So it's built into the pedal. Again, we can adjust the tension and that kind of thing on that. I just reset it, and I'm ready to run. My slow bending speed. Yeah, very nice machine. We've installed a lot of them, and yeah, we've got a lot of happy customers with them. And they will definitely make your life easier, increase your competitive forces, and you know, give you more time to go fishing and hunting or golf, whatever you're into, and spend time with your families. But anyway, we're proud of these machines, and we'd love to put one in your shop, and I appreciate their time today.
American tank. These clamps, you can set them up, switch this, and you go to European also. So they're dual section clamps. And the standard tooling's got a hook on it. And the section clamps allow you to turn the tool either way. And that's the hook. Now, four-way, obviously this is loose. You see that we've got the tang, so single bead eyes. I'm able to tighten those down through here. And I can run the four-way. Obviously, just run the opening I want or need. And that's it.